Bkfc 57 is in the books. So my question for everybody is, what do you do with the featherweight division if you are the Bkfc right now? Right, you got Kai Stewart sitting at the top, undefeated, asking for big names. You don't want to shelf him too long. You got a ranking system that seems to get ignored like all the time when they're booking title fights. So you got guys sitting at the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 spot, but we don't know if that even matters. You got a fan base that begs for the Bkfc to, reward the homegrown talent. Kai wants big names. Will it go right up the ass of these fans if they were to give it to somebody other than the top 5 ranked fighters right now? But they also are a business and they're trying to sell out arenas in brand new states. California coming up, Knucklemania 3. You're going to see Vegas pretty soon. We're here in Mohegan Sun, up here in New England. So you're trying to sell out new arenas and new states in front of a new fan base. You got to consider who you're putting on the top of that bill. And 2 homegrowns might not sell the same way a name does. So they're in a hell of a spot. Kai, let's start with Kai. Kai wants a big name. He's been asking for it, right? So who are the only 2 big names that make any sense? Let's say Dat Win. They were supposed to fight last year. It got scrapped. I don't know what for, but when he beat Louis and then he beat HD Davis, who was the name that he asked for? It was Dat Win. Dat's got a good track record. So he would make sense, but is he a big enough star to put into one of these new states and draw a crowd? I don't know. And then the only other one that makes sense as far as name value goes in the featherweight division, I would say, is Jimmy Rivera, who's sitting at 1-1-1 now, but the loss is at 155 pounds. It was to Jeremy Stevens, but in featherweight, he's 1-0-1, and the draw was against HD Davis, who just fought for a title. So those are the only 2 big names that would make any sense, if you ask me, for Kai. Or they could bring in somebody from the outside that we're not even thinking about. We could do that. But the new ranking system is going to come out tomorrow, right? The Bkfc 57 just passed. You got to wonder where Brian Duran's going to land in that top 5 now. He just beat the number 1 guy in the division. The guy who just lost, or who last loss was to Kai Stewart in a title fight for the inaugural featherweight. So Brian Duran is now 6-0, 6 finishes, 100% finish rate. The kid is an absolute star. We just got back from Miami, and the pop that he gets down there is absolutely insane. Yes, it's his hometown, but you got to wonder if Brian, when the rankings come out tomorrow, usually around 10 a.m., 11 a.m. tomorrow on Tuesday after the event is when the new rankings come out. You wonder if he jumps all the way up to number 1 or number 2. But you also got Brandon Allen, homegrown. So you got a homegrown talent, and Brian Duran, 6-0, could possibly land in the top 1, 2, or 3 spot. You got Brandon Allen, who came off an awesome 2023 campaign, 2 knockouts. Trevor Loken, very tough fighter. He just absolutely smashed him with that left hand. And then he went and fought a champion from another organization coming in, and Allen follows up the Loken knockout with Seth Schaefer. You got to wonder, is he going to be number 1 in the rankings tomorrow? Because you got to think that Louis going to drop down 2 or 3 spots tomorrow. And then the only other one in that top 5 that even could make any sense is James Get Down Brown, who had a 2-0 campaign in 2023, beat Mike Alvarado, great boxer out of Denver, in front of his hometown in Denver. But you don't think that James Brown has a fight coming up, I want to say in the next couple weeks in Manassas, Virginia. And Brian's coming off a fight, so he probably is not going to be ready to fight for a while. Brandon Allen's been out for a minute. I think he could get a shot at Kai, or they go with a big name. Now, these homegrown talents, man, you could put Allen and Duran, either one of those in there, and I think everybody would be fine, would be happy about that. Brandon Allen against Kai is fine. Brian Duran's got heat with Kai. He took the time to drive 38 hours out to Salt Lake City and no, Denver. I think even Denver. He was out one of those, and Brian Duran showed up and let it be known that he wants that fight. So they could do that, but they can also take Kai, put him on Knucklemania 4 against a Dat Win or Jimmy Rivera. That'll help add name recognition to the tops of these cards. Name recognition against a champion in a new state, in a new arena, in front of a new fan base. And then you can let Brandon Allen and Brian Duran fight in the meantime down in Florida as a title eliminator. That's kind of like where I would go. So what do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think the BKFC should do with that featherweight division. Do they stick with the ranking system and stay true to rankings and let the next man up fight Kai? Or do they grant Kai his wishes and give him a big name and possibly put him on this California card that they announced just the other day out in California in April, Knucklemania 4? There's so many possibilities right there. You could bring back Daniel Strauss, could be in the mix. Yeah, HD Davis is still there. You could put a little mini tournament in there, a little 4-man tournament. Now I'm really spitballing. You get Kai versus one of those big names on the Knucklemania card. And then in the meantime, you start booking a little 4-man tournament between these other guys and put HD against James Brown, or the winner of the James Brown fight, and then Brandon Allen against Brian Duran. And then let the winners face each other. Maybe you get HD versus Brian Duran after that. So I don't know, man. These guys, I wish I was part of this matchmaking team, because it has to be the funnest damn job in the world. BKFC 57 was a hit. Brian Duran is a star in that division. Love him or hate him, that kid's a star. I don't know if they want to book him outside of Florida anytime soon, but he's a star, and you guys all got to recognize that. And this featherweight division is extremely interesting. It has been the last 2 years, and right now it's about as interesting as it possibly could get. So let me know, what do you do if you are the BKFC with that featherweight division?